5 leaves the pad.
And there was the announcement that we have entered the final minute of the countdown. The VIPs heading out to the balcony. We welcome everybody around the world viewing this live webcast of the 201st Ariane mission on arianespace.com, and special greetings to our friends and industrial partners around the world. Julian, my friend, we're at the magic moment.
Yeah, finally we certainly will do it tonight, and we approach to the famous final countdown to the launch of this Ariane 5 with Yahsat 1A and Intelsat New Dawn tonight.
Absolutely. The moments tick away, and here is that countdown from Kourou.
Tous de DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage des EAP. Décollage. Les paramètres bord sont normaux, la trajectoire est nominale.
Absolutely awesome. The Ariane 5 ECA has roared into the skies above Kourou. This is my 4th time here, and it takes my breath away every single time. As we close in on the 1-minute mark, Ariane 5 is about to break the sound barrier here in Kourou, and I know from experience in just a moment, this building is going to start shaking as that Ariane goes over, and we can hear the sound now.
You can hear it right now, yeah. And how impressive it is once again with these beautiful images of this flight during the day with the sunlight. And there are 1,300 tons of thrust is breaking the Ariane 5 free from Earth's gravity. 90% of that power is coming from the 2 boosters. Each one is 31 meters, about 100 feet tall, and are burning 240 tons of solid propellant in 2 minutes, more than 2 tons per second. When the boosters have done their job, in less than a minute from now, Ariane will be about 70 kilometers into the sky and traveling at more than 1 mile per second, much faster than a bullet.
We're in a soundproof booth, and it is still rumbling here at Jupiter. Julian, the green screen that we followed before has been replaced by a chart and a moving dot. What's that representing, and what about the numbers below there?
So in fact, these curves on the left show the predicted trajectory profile, and the moving dot is the current position of Ariane 5. The V stands for velocity and A stands for altitude.
Okay, we want that dot to follow the curve?
Yeah, absolutely. This data is coming from Galileo, the tracking station on a big hill behind Jupiter. Engineers there are evaluating all the data in real time.
Already, and we just saw the burnout and the jettison of the twin solid rocket boosters high in the sky, and they are going to end up, of course, in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, and we can see it very well on this picture. It's real live data, a live video. And the boosters have done their job, and we don't need them anymore. They drop away, and the mass of the launcher is now 180 tons. So we've lost 600 tons in about a couple of minutes.
Wow.
The lighter we are, the faster we go.
Yeah, what an incredible shot as you see them fall away, and of course the Ariane 5 in the center. At 3 minutes 4 seconds into the mission, all is well, and we see some images of the fairing coming up in a moment. And what is the purpose? And we just heard the separation of the quaff. What's the purpose
this fairing that has just separated is it has protected Yahsat 1A and Intelsat New Dawn on the ground before launch and after liftoff from acoustic vibration and atmospheric friction. However, above 100 kilometers, there is no risk of friction anymore, and we can separate the fairing and then can lighten the launcher again.
And it's about 2 tons less on the launcher. And I think the cameraman was so enthralled by being able to see the solid rocket boosters and everything. We never even saw the fairing, but everything is going fantastic. So it is now time for us to get some news from Ariane Space. On February 16th, the Automated Transfer Vehicle 2 was launched by a dedicated version of an Ariane 5. This was a milestone, the 200th launch of an Ariane rocket. 8 days after launch, ATV performed a perfect automated docking with the International Space Station. The ATV is a major European contributor to the International Space Station, supplying it and readjusting its operational orbit.
As you can see for yourself, the construction of the Soyuz launch pad is completed. This will allow us to move on to the operations qualification phase of the project. During this period, teams including 300 Russian colleagues will be joining us for rehearsal of the launch campaign right up to the final countdown. This is planned for the end of April. It will enable us to prepare for the first Soyuz launch from Guyana, which is scheduled for the end of the summer. For Vega, preparations are underfoot with the start of the launch system qualification review in Europe and the continuation of launch system trials in Guyana.
Ariane Space will launch Yahsat 2, the second geostationary satellite built in Argentina. It will provide a wide range of telecommunications from Argentina to Canada.
SES has chosen Ariane Space to launch its Astra 2E satellite on an Ariane 5 in 2013. During the industry landmark event Satellite 2011 held earlier this month, Ariane Space reaffirmed its position as the leading commercial launch services provider. At this occasion, Jean-Yves Le Gall, Chairman and CEO of Ariane Space, was inducted into the Society for Satellite Professionals International Hall of Fame. Ariane Space discussed its global leadership at Japan Week 2011. Since opening its Tokyo office in 1986, Ariane Space has won 27 contracts, a 75% market share. And 6 minutes, 9 seconds after the thunderous launch of the Ariane 5 here in Kourou.
Yes, the Vulcan 2 engine is doing all the work now. That fuel tank you spoke of holds 115 tons of liquid oxygen at minus 160 degrees and 25 tons of liquid hydrogen at minus 240 degrees.
And again, we have had a great number of people working hard here in Kourou for over a month to prepare the satellites for tonight's mission. And let's hear about the main steps in that process.
Luca Kekio is the Ariane Space Program Director for Yahsat 1A. He has been working several months with this brand new customer. Here are some details.
Alia Satellite Communication Company, or Yahsat, was created in 2007 as a fully owned subsidiary to the Mubadala Development Company. They will provide a dual communication service that will meet the needs of the commercial market as well as the needs of the governments of the UAE. It is within the frame of this agreement that Arianespace will launch Yahsat's first satellite. Arianespace has always been a partner for new SATCOM operators. We have stopped counting the number of operators that have launched their first satellite with Arianespace. For this, we at Arianespace are proud to bring our contribution to their successes by providing reliable launches on which they can count.
Its co-passenger represents a really important mission for the African continent. Thomas Panozzo, Ariane Space Program Director for Intelsat New Dawn, speaks about this historic project.
New Dawn Satellite Company is a joint venture between Intelsat and a group of South African investors led by Convergence Partners. The satellite will feature a payload optimized to deliver wireless backhaul, TV programming and broadband over the African continent, which is one of the fastest growing regions in the world demanding for fixed satellite services. And the signature of Nelson Mandela on the fairing tonight witnesses the importance that his foundation gives for tonight's launch, and the motto is a launch for Africa by Africa.
8:23 into the mission, all continues to go right down the middle with that dot and the line. During the video, we were acquired by the Natal telemetry station. Where is that, and what other stations are we going to use tonight, Julian?
In fact, we have 5 ground tracking stations: Galliot in Kourou, Natal in Brazil, Ascension Island in mid-Atlantic, and Libreville in Gabon in West Coast Africa, and then Malindi in Kenya, East Coast Africa. So Ariane sends data to those ground stations. This tells us how the flight progressing in real time, but we also record all the data, which we'll review in detail a few weeks after launch.
And the main engine has now completed its job. You just heard that announcement. It has separated, and the upper stage will now burn for nearly 16 minutes. How do those two separate without colliding?
In fact, there are two small rockets on either side of the upper stage have fired. This has allowed the upper stage to move away from the lower stage, and then we can safely ignite its engine and continue on our journey. We also jettison those small engines. Anytime we no longer need any part of the rocket, we drop it off to save weight.
Okay, well, you're the engineer, and as you said earlier, the lighter we are, the faster we go. So if you said it, it must be true. It's a basic law of physics. Right down the middle, we are flying tonight. Everything is perfect. Time now to hear from Yahsat Satellite Communications, the owner of Yahsat 1A.
Yahsat is a hybrid satellite system that provides commercial and government satellite services in Middle East, Africa, and Southwest Asia. Yahsat will be providing services through KU and C-band frequencies, and will be providing services like internet trunking, broadband services for end users, enterprise. We'll be providing broadcasting services as well, plus, of course, our military and government services. Ariane Space is going to launch our first satellite ever, so I think it will always be a special relation. I mean, this is for us a historical moment and again, one of the most important milestones in this project. The launch is probably one of the most important milestones in our project. This is where our project becomes operational. This is where we start fulfilling the requirements for our clients, military and commercial clients. So it's definitely one of the most important phases of our project. The relation we had with Ariane Space and their team for the last few years is just fantastic, and I think it's a great example of teamwork.
11 minutes, 22 seconds after liftoff. Ariane 5 now 164 almost kilometers into the sky and moving at 7.25 kilometers per second. Where are we right now?
In fact, Ariane 5 is well on its way to Africa in just 11 minutes. So the upper stage is doing all the work right now, and it also uses liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, just like the main cryogenic stage. And it will burn 975 seconds until it reaches the final orbit.
All right, let's hear a little more about the Yahsat 1A satellite from Telus Space.
Every launch is a special occasion. But today is a very special day with the launch of Yahsat 1A. So, congratulations to a new satellite operator, Yahsat, and congratulations to Mubadala. Congratulations to the UAE, who join us in the world of space telecommunication, and to your armed forces for your commitment to a dependable and robust satellite system. Yahsat 1A is the first of two state-of-the-art dual-mission satellites. Its advanced design means it can handle new technologies and offer the most effective solutions. It is the fruit of winning partnerships between Yahsat, the UAE Armed Forces, our colleagues at Astrium, and ourselves, Thales Alenia Space and Thales. An impressive new site in Abu Dhabi is ready to take control of Yahsat 1A very soon. And the civil ground terminals on which Thales and Astrium UK actively participated are on track for system acceptance. I would like to thank all the international teams who have worked efficiently as one. It just shows how relationships based on
And as we come back to Jupiter, we are now at 13 minutes and 41 seconds into the flight. And everything continues to go well at 13 minutes, 50 seconds into the flight. Where are we now?
And we are now under the control of Ascension Island because we have been acquired by Ascension